everybody. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Isabella Banks YouTube channel where we discuss all things Harry, Meghan, and their level up journey. If you're new here, I'm Wheezy, and it is great to meet you virtually. How has your week been? How has your weekend been? I hope you're enjoying it and you're getting some rests as we wait for the week to begin tomorrow. So, as we were discussing in our last video, Yankee Wally has been promoting some hate speech against Prince Harry, very dangerous talk, and she has been rallying her troops to go over and suppress the Sussex friendly YouTube channels. So I have dropped her the link to her channel in the chat and in the comment section of this video. Let me just check to see whether I have dropped it in the comment section of this video. Just hold on a second. Where I recommended that you go ahead to report her videos. We can't just sit back and do nothing, clapping our hands like helpless maidens and saying, "Oh my God, look at all that is happening." We have to do something about it. So, the thing to do that I know about is to report the channels. I know that it takes a while for this to work, but I have seen it actually working. So I know that it can work. So let's do that. Let's do that. That is possible for us to do. So let's do that. Let's do that. Gwendolyn says, "Oh, hi, Isabel. Hi. How you doing?" Lakiva says, "Family, I'm boycotting GB News and Talk TV News. I am only watching good things about Meghan and Harry." I agree with you. I realized at a certain point that GB News and Talk TV, although they've got an audience, but it's only because they stoke hate. They're able to play on people's emotions, and it feels to people like they're getting up and they're doing something. But I genuinely believe that with the change of the government, that things are going to change in how the media reporting goes on going forward. I mean, I think that we're already seeing the effects of that because since the Labour Party took over power on Friday, was it? Things have calmed down considerably. Things have calmed all the way down. We're not getting all this hate speech and so on. So we're at least it's reducing. You still have the media who are doing that vendetta type journalism, but I think that by the time everyone bands together and refuses to react to their vendetta type journalism, they're just going to have no choice but to go back to proper and standard journalism once again. So that is that. So what do we have here? So guys, we all know what happens when Prince Harry and Meghan undertake any projects. Not to talk about releasing any documentaries. The media goes absolutely crazy and gangs up against Harry and Meghan. Meanwhile, okay, let me show you an example of that. Do you remember these articles that came out when the Harry and Meghan documentary was going to come up? As soon as people watched it, they were like, "Oh, it's just a litany of complaints that are not adding up." What about this one? Viewers of the Harry and Meghan documentary say so many things and none of it is good news. What about this one? Harry and Meghan Netflix series is a dull diary entry, not a documentary. or this one. Oh, and this is a perfect example of a future plan that they have. So they're already planning against February 2025 when Invictus Games Vancouver is going to begin. They want to try and create and stoke as much hate in Canada as is possible. All because Prince Harry and Meghan's, well, if you're looking at it from a balanced perspective, you would think, and basically it's as a result of insecurity. It's basically because they didn't sit down and do what they were supposed to do, which was to define exactly Harry and Meghan's role in the world. So right now, what you have is a hostile situation between the two, should we call them the two British houses now? Because you've got the House of Windsor and then you've got the House of Sussex. So, what Harry and Meghan did is what any normal human being should do. When they saw there was conflict, they proposed that we sit down and talk about it and try to negotiate their way through. But the royal family wouldn't sit down and talk to them. It's either our way or the highway. And Harry and Meghan say, right, bet we take the highway. Bet we take the highway. Now they're stuck because they can't say Harry and Meghan are not royal because Harry is a, a royal prince by birth. So there is no way that any they would go to any country and they would not be respected. You can't tell anyone in any country to incite violence or disrespect towards Harry and Meghan just because you don't like them. That is also against the law for those who are thinking that you can actually do that. No, it's actually against the law. And then what about Meghan? Meghan is an accomplished person even before she got married to Harry. So there is no place that they're going to go to where they would not be accorded respect. But the royal family are jealously watching the boundaries to say, okay, how much respect are you going to give them? How much greeting are you going to give them? You know, they are not royal anymore. And the people must be telling them, we know they're not royal. We know, but they're still important people. And it almost feels like, you know, when you grow up in a house and you've got the mother, father, and then your siblings. May say there are 3, 5 siblings, right? And then you've got one of them who is like David in the Bible almost. He's the youngest, but he had the brightest star, the brightest destiny, the brightest glory, as some people would call it. And nobody respects you because you're the youngest. And so when you say, but this person is important, I have to respect them, it's almost like, who? David? What do you need to respect him for? It's just David. What do you mean it's just David? It's not David who was in the Pampers all those many years ago. It's David, the grown person we're talking about. Anyway, so as Nigerian people would say, the royal family have the knife and they have the yam. If they want to stop this fight today, they can absolutely stop it. But because they are being led by rage, they're not doing the work that they need to do to regulate themselves emotionally. They are shooting themselves in the foot and enjoying it. So, more power to them. More power to them. And this is the reason why I say that they have control of the situation a little bit, because regardless of what we want to think about them, the royal family are an institution. They have long reaching influence all over the world. It would have served them better, much better, to sit down with Harry and Meghan and say, I don't like you. And Harry and Meghan would say, I don't like you either. Okay, this is what we need to do. All right, you keep to your side of the bargain and I'll keep to mine. Fine. And I'll never see you again. Right? I don't even want to see you again either. You know, that would have been perfect. But what are we seeing? They rather choose to take the childish way out, thinking that they're in the times of what was it, Henry VIII, who was just every time that they wanted to solve a problem, it was off with their heads. Off with their heads. Well, you can't go off with their heads now. You can't go off with their heads now. And it's almost like they're saying, well, if we can't go off with your head, if we can't demand for your head at this point in time, we're going to erase you by copying everything that you do, right? First, we had William attending football matches, and then Taylor Swift's concert, and then look at this, the football match. Everything my brother can do, I can do it better. Everything he can do, I can do it too. Then it occurred to me, it occurred to me that there was a reason for this. Because if you watch, you can clearly see a pattern developing. I mean, look at William getting touchy feely with the players, just the way Harry does. It occurred to me that all of this, it actually follows the format that Harry and Meghan adopted when they started wanting to roll out their projects. They would begin to attend public events like the Beyonce concert and the football games and so on. And as Anne Boleyn, it, and it's all of this football, concert, everything is following Harry and Meghan's rollout of their rollout of their projects. I'm sure they're just waiting for Harry and Meghan to make their next move so that they can take notes and add it to their schedule, their routine, their schedule of things to do. What's this? Let me look at your comments. Little Max says, I have not heard Meghan say anything about the royal family in several years. So why write a story on July 7th about anything she said, which was nothing? I also don't think Harry mentioned the royal family recently. Oh my goodness. They don't need Harry and Meghan to say anything. I think we are almost way past the point of thinking that Harry and Meghan have to say anything for the media to say anything negative about them. If they haven't said anything, if Harry and Meghan don't say anything, because they are very frustrated with the fact that they no longer have access to Harry and Meghan, not only do they not have access, they don't have any pull or control over Harry and Meghan. They can't make them do anything. So they make up something. And it's almost like they taunt them. We're going to make up the news. And if you want to correct it, correct it. If you don't want us to keep on publishing fake news about you, then let us in. Tell us what you're doing so that we can go ahead of you and spoil it. Oh dear. This little Mark says the picture of William makes him look very angry, not excited for his team. This constant cosplaying is just ridiculous, right? Right? Let me show you again. Look at this one here. He just looks enraged. Enraged, he does. The energy in him is not a happy one or joyous one. It's always just very uh angry. Anyway, so I think I figured it out. It's all about the announcement of this documentary, just trying to follow in Harry and Meghan's footsteps. Harry and Meghan really are the blueprint. I don't know what the royal family were doing before now. Lady Rose says, Wheezy, the connection between these inbred bloodlines and emotional disorders. This is what's happening with these people. Oh, that could be a great point. That could be a great point as well. That could be a great point as well. And I think we're also looking at a group of people who have had too much luxury, and it's almost like too much luxury is not good for a person. Sussex Love says William is weird. Okay, you're talking to Gwen Daniels. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. He says we really enjoy your podcast, Wizzy. They make our day. Thank you so much. All right, so Anne Boleyn had this to say about all of this hoo-ha concerning William's homeless project. He says every single thing that the British press has criticized Prince Harry for, from going to concerts, attending sporting events, and making a documentary, is exactly what they're praising Prince William for doing right now. It's ridiculous. It's so psycho. It's so psycho. I am very happy that Harry and Meghan are quiet. I'm very happy that they're very quiet and that they must be working very, very hard behind the scenes, just trying to make sure that they cross their T's and dot their I's before they release whatever project, knowing the amount of scrutiny that they will come under once any of their projects are released to the public. Not only that, as soon as they release the projects to the public, they know that those people in Kensington Palace will be copying. In fact, the entire royal family will be copying the entire rollout process. Oh my gosh. It is so sad. Anyway, and this person on Twitter also said it's Prince William's project is called Prince William We Can End Homelessness. And she said, I thought irony and satire had died with the Tories, but there's always the royal family to fall back on. So true, though. It's so true. I would have thought that if William was looking for something to do to compete with Harry, he would have, and you know, that I don't want to give them any ideas, but if he had decided that they were going to work on the Commonwealth Games, that would have been a perfect opportunity, a legitimate reason for him to be in the news, carry out the organization, execute it flawlessly, and then say, ha, you're not the only one who can do this. I would have respect for that. But look at this. Now they have allowed the Commonwealth Games to descend into nothing because he refuses to take charge of it and do anything with it. And all the other countries realize that the royal family don't care about the Commonwealth Games, and therefore nobody is agreeing to host the Commonwealth Games. So it's just chaos, absolute chaos. Let me look at your comments. The royal family wear Meghan's clothes, still her styles, her projects, guest editing the magazines. Exactly. They said that royals don't guest edit the magazines, only for Meghan to leave and then they start doing that. The video for King Charles III's jelly is an exact copy of Nachos. See? What is William going to write in his documentary? How much he cheats and drinks? They're going to take money from the people in the UK to give to the homeless. Yes. And you would have thought, because when the news came out, they first of all reported it as though the money was coming from his pockets, only to find out that no, it's not coming from his pockets. He is going to get, so he's going to 6 places in the UK And in each place that he goes to, he is going to get the local businesses in that place. It's sort of like starting up a GoFundMe in every area. So he's doing is a fund of 3 million, and he's going to 6 places. So he's going to get the local businesses in that area to contribute a fund of £500,000. And that's the money that's going to be used to build the homes. It's just that it's got his name in front of it. So really, all he's doing is the fundraising for the building of these properties. Uh, Sussex Love says, no, you know that William is lazy Wizzy. He's not looking for anything to do. He's trying to find the right publicity stunt to make people like him so he can continue doing nothing. Do you know that he can continue to really not do anything? Because if you think about it, the games, he's not really the one going to do it. He can just put his name on it the way he has done everything else. He wouldn't have to be the one to do anything. He would just look for the people who would do it. And the reality of the situation is that most businesses in the UK will be honored to get a call from the royal family asking them to organize the Commonwealth Games if William decided to make the call, because it would give them access to a lot of things. It would be great networking if they for other events where they could meet other affluent business owners. So they would jump at the opportunity really to do the organizational work for the Commonwealth Games. But is William thinking in that direction? No, he would rather not put any resources towards that. And this is, there are certain things which create excitement in people, like games, for instance, the sporting games, um, talent games, those create excitement. So if he was actually wise, he could have used the Commonwealth Games to actually ins- inspire that kind of affection towards himself. People will say, oh, he is taking care of the Commonwealth through sports. But nope. Except that William is racist. He don't want to do anything for the Commonwealth countries, especially. Well, see, there you go. And it's telling. And the people that he is targeting, his target audience, right? The people he speaks to, none of the things that they want to do give him the affection from the public that he wants. So he's kind of not really able to connect the dots that he needs to connect properly. Whereas Harry is actually going to the common man and doing things for the common man. And it is that common man love that his boy carrying him forward. Uh, Lady Rose says our former president Jim Carter built homes with his foundation. He finances the Habitat for Humanity in all 50 states in the US. Yes. And I've seen a lot of celebrities. He's been able to galvanize a lot of celebrities to collaborate with him to do it. I remember one time, I think I've seen a lot of celebrities like Brad Pitt one time built some homes with the Habitat for Humanity and a few other ones like that, if I remember correctly. So it would have been great if he had decided to choose something like the Commonwealth Games. As I said, I'm not trying to give him ideas. So I hope Kensington Palace is not listening to this podcast. But that would have been the easiest thing on earth for him to be able to achieve. Reba says, "Hello, Lady Rose. Jimmy Carter was building homes into his 90s." Little Mark. Yes, absolutely. And Sussex Love says, "Harry has a heart much like his mother. He can see and understand people. William has no such heart or understanding." And that's really unfortunate for him because it puts him at a disadvantage. And I'm sure he'll remain confused the rest of his life trying to figure out the reason why people don't really like him. He just thinks that it's because he's socially awkward, but he doesn't see the shadow side of himself that makes him unlikable. And let's see. That's right. Okay. And okay. That's not for me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending my TED talk. That's all I have for this evening. I just wanted to talk about this thing because they dropped the news over the weekend. I think they wanted the news cycle. They wanted the news cycle to bury this. They know they needed to report it, but they wanted to report it on over the weekend so that people are busy doing other things and they don't pay that much attention to it so that they avoid the backlash that they had the last time. This week, we are going into day 3 of the new government on Monday. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of excitement as far as that is concerned. I am hoping to do a video on that tomorrow. And I hope that you will be watching the things that the new Prime Minister have done so far. They are quite exciting. And I thought it would be a great idea for me to do a summarized version of what the UK government style is like. So let's take it till let's move the conversation forward until tomorrow, where we'll be discussing the new government, day 3 of the Labour Party. And apart from that, I think the only other exciting thing that happened this weekend was Lewis Hamilton. He has won F1 for the 9th time, breaking. He is now the greatest of all time because he is the one with the greatest amount of wins in the Formula One, even above Schumacher. And I think that was why he was having a lot of challenges this year and last year. A lot of challenges. People really, really, really wanted to make sure they knew he was going to break Schumacher's record. And so they were gunning for him, putting all kinds of obstacles in his way to ensure that he didn't win again. But he just won and he is moving from Mercedes to Ferrari once this season is over. So, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. I'm very happy for him. All right, guys. So, enjoy the rest of your weekend where you're at and speak to you tomorrow. Lady Rose says, please make a video so I can pick a side. Is that about the politics? Is that about the politics, Lady Rose? And the people are talking about William. Willie should stop being a snob if he wants his people to care about him, then work to help them survive what the Tories have done. Yep. 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 Okay, guys. Thank you for being here. I will speak to you tomorrow. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye now. Bye.